is being able to take some negative experiences that have happened in the past and turn them into positive ones and provide opportunities for other youth facing mental health issues within the community. Over time, it became more about really trying to reduce mental health stigma and getting people to get the courage to speak out about their mental illness and to no longer share the shame of having a mental illness. So I do that through becoming part of youth engagement and also by sharing my stories.
To me, youth engagement is youth going out into the community and having a say in what goes on and having a say in how other youth feel and trying to help them out.
I decided to get involved with the New Mentality group because a few members of my family actually have a mental illness, and I've personally experienced or seen the stigma that surrounds it.
For me, I always knew that I wanted to work with youth, and for most of my professional career I have worked with youth, but in a more traditional way, and so for me, there was part of me that kind of always felt like something was missing. And so when I applied for my current position, it was framed as, we're using this youth engagement model, and I didn't really know what that meant, and so I had to do some research, and when I learned that it was really about youth taking the lead and making core decisions and us sort of, being the backbone behind that and really working as partners as opposed to leaders or mentors, I realized I think that was what was missing from the last piece of work I did. That I actually think that the youth were capable of doing more and owning it more and leading it more, and I just needed to be willing to kind of give up that role. And so for me, that's really how I got started in being an adult ally and seeing myself as a partner working with youth.
One of the real benefits of youth engagement has been the perspective that youth bring to the organization, a real fresh way of looking at things, of course their own perspective, which is very important. If we want to work effectively with youth, we have to understand what's important to them and what kind of strategies would be most effective both in connecting with them as well as in delivering services. And the other real positive thing has been the energy that youth bring. Youth have a lot of very positive energy and excitement, and it's a very energizing for the organization.
I really had to challenge my own assumptions. I really had to challenge my own practice wisdom and my own practice knowledge, and really take a chance and take a risk at engaging in this, youth or adult ally type of a context. And it was, in some ways plunging off the deep end, having to trust and to support and to work with youth in total collaboration, but the results were spectacular.
Youth engagement, when done well, isn't about just sending youth off and them doing it on their own. It is really about that partnership, and I think as a starting place, it's super important for everybody to be clear about what is my role, what's your role, how is it the same, how is it different, and also to make sure that there's a lot of training and support that's provided initially. It's kind of like pay now or pay later, because otherwise, if the youth aren't clear, what is my focus outside of here? Is it about reducing stigma around mental health? Is it about preventing violence in my community? Is it about the environment? Whatever the focus is, I think it's about, am I really grounded in what that means and where I want to go? And so I think that's super important, clarity in roles and really appropriate training for everybody involved.
I think my motivation comes from several years of working in the child and youth mental health field. Being faced with the same questions, that youth programs just don't fit, that their needs aren't being met. As an adult ally, I feel that it gives me the opportunity to be able to sit down with these youth, to hear their viewpoints, to understand what they want to see changed and how they want to see programs and services that are more youth-friendly. Seeing their motivation and their dedication to wanting to make these changes and to have an input, to have an impact on different services has inspired me to remain involved and become even more involved.
I'd say the most critical benefit has been in terms of my empathy and my understanding of where young people are at. Because we come from a philosophy where we start where the young person is, and so you learn how to hear more as opposed to speak more. You hear and understand what young people are saying, the realities of their situation, because they're the experts in their own lives. It's not going to serve me to say to a young person, I'm over here and I want to bring you over here if I don't go to where they are first. So learning from that aspect, I think, has made me a much better youth worker. It's made me a much better supervisor in person, because I find that I employ those skills in all other areas of my life.
I think one of the major challenges that we faced in our agency was the understanding of youth engagement, understanding and overcoming the fear of having youth in a decision-making position. With our agency and our organization, we needed to look at having a youth-friendly environment to start off with, looking at how could youth engagement fit into an organization where there are many policies and procedures that need to be there for safety reasons and for everyone's benefit. So we had to look at changing some of the terms of reference, looking at making policies and procedures available for youth to be able to come on board without any other barriers. In fact, I think once we were able to get past some of these things and work together, it was more of a learning experience.
One of the biggest challenges is that youth engagement is not a short-term process. It's something that requires big investment, both on the part of the youth and of the adult ally. It is a long-term process. It takes a lot of work. It is harder, perhaps, than doing things individually. But again, the end result is makes all of the challenges worth it, and all that work actually is very meaningful.
Be prepared to face those barriers and those challenges, and remember, youth engagement is a slow but worthwhile process. It was beneficial to me to network with other agencies and other professionals who are practicing youth engagement. But most of all, don't get discouraged. Continue to believe in the practice, and good luck.
The biggest advice I could give to anyone looking to engage with youth and mentorship is to supply youth with the resources they need and allow them to become the leaders that they want to be. Don't try and rein them in with doing everything for them, but allow them to take control of their lives and become leaders in their communities.
I would say be sensitive to the youth, listen to them, allow them to express their ideas, their concerns, and their joys, and sit back and watch it happen. It's been a great experience for me, and I'm really excited to continue on with our youth engagement program.
Make the group fun and interactive for the youth, and also let the youth know that they will have a say in different activities, such as we have planned a couple activities already, and it's all based on the youth in our group, their ideas and what they wanted to do with the group. So that was definitely incentive for me, saying that I'll have a say and my voice will be heard within the community, and I think it's really great.
See, youth engagement means get youth to engage other youth. It's the most simple thing. It's just logic that at least they'll have something in common, right? Like they both know they struggle, like finding themselves. They are both in high school, but at least they're on the same level, and it's not somebody from up there looking down on them, telling them this is how you should do this, this is how you should that. Have young people engage young people. Don't have older people thinking they know everything about younger people. Have young people engage young people. If you say it's youth engagement, get youth engaged.
I felt like there's like a whole bunch of problems in our community, and these people that were standing outside and they're like, oh, come here, join our program, and I and my friend went. So we're like, oh, we've had some problems in our life too with bullying, so we want to help the kids that are experience it like we did. It's helped me, and it's also helped me to help others, because we do workshops to other schools in our district, and we've taught them about bullying and healthy relationships, and it's really good.
Giving a young person a platform to express their ideas and do things is an incredible thing, and it will draw a lot of young people in. Another thing I advise you is not to be judgmental. Some people come in, some young people may come in and they may look like or seem to be a certain way, but they're not once you get underneath the outer shell that they have. So I'd say to be very patient, and I would also suggest that not that you only listen to young people, that you do collaborate with them, and that realize that we do need guidance at the same time. So do not just it wouldn't work out if you just told us a task and left us there to do it. We do need your help and we do need your guidance, and it's just to support us is basically what I'm saying, to support our ideas and what we want to do, and that's the best way to engage young people.
My advice would be brave. Sometimes youth engagement is a risk, and I think of course we have to consider always the care and concern of the young people that we serve and support, but I think ultimately, the benefits outweigh the risks, and so if it's done thoughtfully and carefully, there's no reason that you can't have youth on your board of directors. There's no reason that you can't push technology to the end and have youth really out there and leading this and running with their ideas, things that you might never have thought could work. So I guess my advice is to, of course, be thoughtful, but be brave.